Hello hookers, crafters, and laymen, and welcome to another episode of Mosaic Crochet. So your Mosaic Crochet project is done, and you have all these ends. While you could definitely do fringe or braid the ends, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to make the envelope border, but they all do the same thing, and that's encase the ends or hide them inside by working rounds up the front of the project and up the back of the project, and then connecting them at top, sealing the ends inside. Pretty much the only difference in these 3 envelope borders is the way you start it. So I'm going to give you a brief 2-sentence summary of each version so that you can decide which one you want to use. First, front post double crochets. This is the easiest and the fastest version. You make front post double crochets all the way along the back and then all the way around the front right under the ones you just made. This version ends up creating a little bit of bulk at the beginning of the border, but in a blanket, does that really matter? Second version, working into the border stitches along the sides and then into the regular stitches along the top and the bottom, assuming you made a foundation single crochet so that you have a front loop and a back loop at the bottom. Working into the border stitches is exactly how it sounds. This is a little bit tricky, especially if you made your border stitches tightly. Third version, surface slip stitching all the way around the blanket and then working into those slip stitches. This is the most tedious and takes the longest, but I think it creates a really nice professional look. Now I'm going to show you how to make all 3 versions. I'm just going to be using little swatches that I made for my Ocean Mosaic crochet blanket.
For all of these, the first thing you're going to do is go down the sides and knot 2 ends together.
So I'm picking up 2, tying them in a double knot, then the next 2. This will just make them extra secure. Some people chain one at the end of their row and then they don't knot that end. That's just up to you. Once all of your ends are knotted, you can trim them down to about 1 inch. You'll also want to size down your hook compared to what you made the project. I'm going to use this really bright orange yarn so you can see exactly what I'm doing.
You can attach the yarn however you want. I just like making a slip knot and putting it on my hook.
Next, you're going to start on the back of the project. Here's my bottom, here's my top. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to start up here at the top. So I'm going to be making front post double crochets around the edge. Starting on the back, you're going to take your hook, you're going to push it towards the front and then back up to the back. Now you can make a standing double crochet. I'm just going to do some chains. So I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops, and then do 2 more chains. Yarn over, make a front post double crochet, and keep doing a front post double crochet in every stitch until you get to the corner. Here is my corner front post double crochet. It's a little tight from knotting it. And this is where patterns might tell you to do things differently. They might say put 3 front post double crochets in the corner. It might say put 1, chain 2, and then put another in the corner. Just do whatever your pattern says. I'm just going to chain 1 and then put another front post double crochet into the same stitch. Now it's time to go up the side where all of the border stitches are. Use all those border stitches where all the color changes are kind of as a guide to see where to make each stitch. You're going to put all those front post double crochets right along the inside of those border stitches. This first one's a little bit tight. Your ends are probably going to be really annoying and keep getting in the way. Just keep brushing them out of your way.
You get the point, right? You're just working front post double crochets around every single stitch. Now, I don't need a real border on these, so I'm just going to show you a little sample going around the corner.
I'm going to show you how to do it on the front side now. So I'm actually going to fasten off. Now, after you flip your work over, you can see all of your front post double crochets. It might be hard to see it if you're using the same color as one of your main colors, which is why I did it in this obnoxious orange. Essentially, you're going to be doing the same exact thing, except your front post double crochets are going to be made right underneath the ones that you made from the back. So I'm going to insert my hook towards the back and then back up to the front, and I'm going to do a standing double crochet or just chain 3. yarn over, insert your hook towards the back, and then back to the front, right under that other stitch.
Just keep making front post double crochets right under the ones from the back all the way until the corner.
Again, in the corner stitch, put a front post double crochet, and then follow whatever the pattern says. I'm just going to do a chain, or 2 chains, I don't remember even now, and then put another front post double crochet into the same stitch. And this is where it can get pretty bulky on your blanket because you have 4 stitches in the same spot. Then just keep doing front post double crochets directly underneath the one that you made on the back. And I just have one more that I did.
If you're actually making the envelope border, you'd keep working up as many rounds as you'd like, or as many rounds as the pattern calls for. Then you'd attach them together at the top by single crocheting or slip stitching the front and back together, thus enclosing all the ends inside. I feel like you get the point, so I'm going to stop with this version.
Version 2, working into the border stitches and then along the top and the bottom. Again, to prep your project so that you are ready to do the border stitch, you need to work knots up the edge. So pick up 2 ends, knot them together. Keep doing that up the entire side. If you chained 1 at the end of your rows, you probably don't need to knot your ends. I like to, just to be extra safe. Anyway, after you've knotted all the ends, you can trim it down to about 1 inch. I'm actually going to get a smaller hook because it makes it easier to work into the border stitches. You should always size down a hook when you're doing your border. It makes it tighter, it makes it cleaner. You can attach your yarn however you want. I'm just going to make a slip stitch on my hook and attach it. It does not matter if you begin on the front or the back for this method. It is easiest to start along the top or the bottom. You can make single crochets or double crochets for your first round. Since I just showed you front post double crochets, I'm just going to show you single crochets on this one. When looking at the bottom of your crochet work, if you made a foundation single crochet, you should still have a front loop and a back loop for every stitch. When you're working with the front for the border, you're going to work into the front loops only. So insert your hook into any front loop. Do a standing single crochet or double crochet. I'm just gonna yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both, and call that my first single crochet. Then I'm gonna single crochet into the next front loop only. Keep going till you get to the corner. I just did 1 single crochet into the corner. Follow whatever your pattern says. Here, maybe you'll chain 1 or chain 2 and then put another single crochet in the corner. You might put 3 single crochets into the corner. This is where it gets tough. You are working into both legs of your border stitches.
Make sure you're putting your hook through the legs of the border stitch and not the loop you made when knotting the 2 ends together.
It can be hard to shove your hook into them. Okay, my first border stitch is way up here, and then I'm just going to do a single crochet. Now I'm on my white border stitch. Put your hook into both legs, yarn over, pull through, come on, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Now I'm on the blue one, putting my hook through both legs, yarn over, pull through, up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and I'm on the white one, putting my hook into both legs, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both. Okay, I think you get the point. When you get to the top of your work, it should be very easy to see you have a front loop and you have a back loop for every stitch. Working along the front side, you will work into the front loop only, making single crochets, double crochets, whatever your pattern calls for. So I'm going to fasten off and then show you the back side. The border stitches on the back side also have 2 legs They might be a little bit harder to see. Mine are a little bit slanted. But you're going to want to put your hook into both legs. And then do your single crochet or double crochet, whatever the pattern calls for.
Your ends will continue to be annoying. Make sure you brush them out of the way. If you snag them in the border, they will stick out and show.
Just keep working single crochets into both legs of every border stitch till you get to the corner. Oh, I made this not really tight. Okay, there we go. When you get to the corner, you'll obviously do whatever the pattern calls for. I'm gonna just do a single crochet, chain, and do a single crochet into the same stitch. Now I'm working into the back loop only that is left over from when I did front loop only on the front side. So I can see this extra loop right here. I'm just going to work single crochets into all of those leftover back loop loops. Okay. Okay, I think you get the point. Then if you keep working rounds all the way around your piece, you're going to make these walls essentially taller. You'll be able to connect them and encase all of the ends inside. You could do mosaic crochet into the border, you could do a solid color, you could variate colors and have stripes in the border, whatever you want to do. So that's the second version. This is the third way to begin the envelope border. Once again, you need to prep the ends by knotting them together all the way down the side. So take two, knot them together, and grab the next two, knot them together. Okay, you get the point, knot it all the way down the edge. Okay, pretend I knotted all the way down the edge. Next, you're going to want to trim the ends, trim them to about an inch, inch and a half, kind of whatever you're comfortable with. I wouldn't go any less than a half an inch. Next, you're going to want to make your surface slip stitches the same hook size as you did the project. Once you're working into the surface slip stitches, that's when you will downsize a half a hook. So, let's make surface slip stitches. I'm going to make my surface slip stitches right along the inside of my border stitches. I kind of don't like the look when it's up here, so I'm gonna make it right on the inside of my double crochet. Okay, let's do this thing. On the bottom, I'm just going to make them right along the inside. There. First, you're going to insert your hook through your project. Then put your yarn on your hook and pull it up. Great. Next, you're going to insert your hook up and through the next bit, yarn over, pull up a loop, and this is a slip stitch, so pull through. Make sure you don't do this too tightly or it'll be really hard for the next round. Gonna insert your hook. Is this clear? I hope it is. I'm gonna insert my hook up into the next stitch, so up by the next border stitch right here. Then I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna pull it up and pull it through. I'm gonna insert my hook up next to the next border stitch, which is right here alongside the white one. All the way through. Grab that yarn, pull up a loop, and pull through. And I have one more, nope, two more till I reach my corner. Right alongside that border stitch, pull up, pull through. And here is my last one. Okay, now I'm gonna turn my work, well, kinda. And I'm gonna start doing it. I'm gonna do it right into the inside of my double crochets. So next I'm gonna go into this one. You can totally go into these, but I just like it better if I cover that up. So pull up, because I'm making a surface slip stitch into the next stitch, pull up, keep going. Okay, I think you get the point. You will do that all the way around your entire project. I'm gonna cut it off so you can see what is going on. On the front I have these surface slip stitches. On the back side I just have loops. Hopefully you didn't do them too tight. Now you're going to need to size down a half a hook size to make it a lot easier on your life. And also, you're going to flip your project to the back. You'll be working into these loops first. If you work into the front first, you might end up pulling these loops so tight that you will be cursing yourself and wishing you would have done the back side first. So just do yourself a favor and do the back side first. Again, you're going to do whatever the pattern calls for. Maybe it'll call for a single crochet, maybe it'll call for a double crochet. Let's just do double crochets. I put a slip stitch on my hook. Obviously, you can attach the yarn however you want. Put it up into one of those loops. Mine is going to be really loose because I just cut off in the middle of my row. Then do a standing double crochet or just chain 3, whatever your preference is. I'm just going to chain 3. Now yarn over, insert your hook into this loop from your surface slip stitch. You might have to use your fingernail to help pull it over. Complete your double crochet. Okay, yarn over, insert your hook into this loop. I'm using my nail to help pull it over. If you made your surface slip stitches loose, this will make your life so much easier. Doing it in an off color makes it really easy to see these loops. If you do a color that is predominantly in your project, it might be harder to tell what the loop is. It's okay if you accidentally go into the third back loop instead of the loop from your surface slip stitches. Once you get to the corner, you do whatever your pattern says. I'm actually going to put 3 double crochets into this corner spot because why not? Then I'm going to keep going. I probably pulled this one a little bit tight. Use my nail, get my hook under there. There we go. Keep it up, keep it up. Next stitch. I do think this one does make the nicest finished look. And if you do kind of an accent color for those surface slip stitches, as you'll see in a second when I start on the front, it's going to make a really nice line all the way around your project. Okay, I have 2 more stitches and then I'll show you the front. Okay, I'm just going to fasten off. There it is along the back side. Mwah. Flip it over. You can see working into that back loop kind of pulled these a little bit tighter on the front. For the front, you are going to work just into this back loop. Again, do a standing double crochet, chain 3, whatever floats your boat. Okay, yours should not be this loose. Mine is that loose because it is not attached all the way around. There we go, I pulled it tight. Yarn over, insert your hook into the back loop only of that surface slip stitch. Do your regular double crochet. Oh, silly me. I'm going to actually switch colors so you can see how it can make a nice line around your project. So hold on. Okay, take 2. I'm just going to fast forward to where I was. Okay, there. Now you can see if you do a different color for that first round, it makes a really nice line around your project. Keep doing back loop only double crochets into that surface slip stitch. Once you get to the corner, I'm just going to do 3 into that stitch. I prefer the look of doing 3 stitches into corners instead of doing a chain or a chain 2. Continue doing back loop only double crochets into your surface slip stitch. I'm at the end of the example portion that I made. And there you have it. Keep building up those rounds and then you can slip stitch them together or single crochet them together and enclose all of the ends inside. And this one looks really lovely once it's done. So there's your 3 different ways that you can start your envelope border. Do whichever one will help you keep your sanity.
Let me know which style of the envelope border is your favorite down in the comments. Or if you know another method of making the border to hide all these ends, please let us know. Let me know if you have any more mosaic crochet questions, and as always, later hookers!